Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing something absolutely historic. The Democratic Party isn't just cracking, it is collapsing from within. Senator John Fetterman, this is the one man that they thought would never turn on him. He has just crossed the line and publicly broken ranks with Chuck Schumer and the far left establishment. And what's happening behind the scenes right now in Washington, this is nothing short of political warfare. You got Schumer drowning in record low approval. You got Zoran Mandami, a self-proclaimed socialist who just rode an army of radical progressives and foreign-born voters straight into New York City's mayor's office. And right in the middle of this mess stands John Fetterman. That's right, the last blue-collar Democrat who has had enough of this party's insanity. So this isn't some quiet disagreement. No, this is a Democratic civil war exploding in real time. Moderates versus Marxists, patriots versus party loyalists, and President Trump sitting right back in the Oval Office watching them eat their own. Man, drop a popcorn down below if you know what I'm saying here. They call President Trump dangerous. They said that he would divide the country. But the truth is, it's their own arrogance. It's their own radicalism that's tearing the Democratic Party to shreds before our very eyes. So buckle up, guys, because tonight we're going to dive deep into this implosion here, Fetterman's defection, Schumer's humiliation, and the far left takeover that could end the Democratic Party as we know it. Hit the like button and subscribe. Oh, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this isn't just about politics. This is about the survival of common sense in America. Okay, so the fuse for this internal explosion, it was lit during the recent government shutdown. This was a shutdown that the Democrats thought was going to end up embarrassing Trump, but instead, all it did was expose their own incompetence for the entire country to see. Now, it all started when Democratic leaders refused to pass a clean budget unless it included billions of dollars for, pet projects and climate subsidies, DEI programs, foreign aid, all while millions of Americans are already facing inflation and rising costs. That right there is when John Fetterman said, enough is enough, guys. He ended up calling out his own party for crossing the red line, saying Democrats had endangered 42 million Americans on SNAP benefits, left our troops unpaid, and made air travel less safe for all for political theater. And he said he couldn't stand by as his party hurt working Americans just to score some points against Trump. And drop a he's right in the comments down below if you agree with John Fetterman here. That was his breaking point, the moment that Fetterman chose country over party. So when Schumer fumbled and panicked, Trump negotiated, led, and reopened the government. And that right there, my friends, that's when the Democrats realized the truth. They didn't just lose the shutdown fight, they ended up losing their entire soul. Now, hidden costs are the absolute worst kind. I mean, they seriously are. They sneak into your Medicare plan and they chip away at your savings little by little. Millions of retirees are already getting letters from their doctors saying, we will no longer accept your insurance next year. Now, this is why I partnered with Chapter, guys. They uncovered the hidden fees that are buried inside of your Medicare coverage before they add up. Now, one of our viewers, she said, I saved hundreds once Chapter pointed out hidden costs that I had never seen. So let me ask, are you going to just keep on paying in the dark, or are you going to join the thousands who have already flipped on the light? Now, most people, they're dialing the phone number right there at the bottom of your screen, or they're visiting askchapter.org/Ron. That phone number again is 909-563-8279. Oh, and listen to what real viewers like you are saying. So James Weirick said, thank you, Ron. I used Chapter again yesterday, and he helped me out quite a bit. Good outfit. Appreciate your time and your words. Valerie Rios, 4948, said, I called Chapter, and they did help me get cash back. Wow. That is real money, guys. Real results and real peace of mind. And so when Fetterman said country over party, he wasn't just making a slogan. He was literally drawing the line in the sand. Now, this was a man who once stood shoulder to shoulder with Bernie Sanders, suddenly saying that his own party had lost its moral compass. In the interviews, he looked exhausted, like just tired, finished. Not from politics, but from betrayal. He said that he couldn't stomach a party that ignored working families while obsessing over Twitter activism and foreign clauses. He saw the airport shutting down, soldiers wondering when their paychecks would arrive, and 42 million Americans wondering if they could afford groceries. And he said no more to that. So here's the thing, guys. That phrase right there, country over party, think about it. That used to belong to the Democrats. It used to be their rallying cry. But in 2025, it's the Republicans and America First independents saying it with conviction. Fetterman realized what millions of disillusioned voters already knew, that the far left doesn't fight for the people anymore. No, they fight for power. So he ended up breaking them publicly. That right there is when whispers started swirling through Washington that Fetterman wasn't just criticizing his party. He was getting ready to leave it. Then came the revelation that turned every head on Capitol Hill. Laura Trump herself confirmed that she had privately met with Senator John Fetterman. And not just once, multiple times. She said, Fetterman has more in common with Donald Trump than with anyone in his own party. Now think about that for a second, okay? Now think about that. The daughter-in-law of the sitting president of the United States of America saying this about a sitting Democrat senator, that's incredible, isn't it? Oh, and behind closed doors, insiders are saying that the meetings were about bipartisan cooperation on issues like border security, manufacturing, and protecting American jobs. The same blue-collar backbone that the Democrats abandoned years ago. Now, Laura praised Fetterman as common sense, straightforward, and willing to do what's right. In other words, everything that the modern Democrat Party isn't. And that's when the rumors exploded. So would Fetterman switch parties? Would he go independent and caucus with Republicans? Or would he become the symbol of rebellion, the man who finally said what millions of old school Democrats are thinking? Either way, that handshake right there with Laura Trump, it sent one unmistakable message to Washington. John Fetterman's loyalty is no longer with Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries. And so now let's talk about Chuck Schumer, okay? This is the man who thought he could hold the party together by appeasing everyone and ended up pleasing no one. And so right now, Schumer's approval rating among Democrats, it is at the lowest level in nearly 4 decades. Even CNN had to admit it on live television. He's officially underwater with his own base. I mean, the same man who used to boast about being a New York fighter, he's become the face of weakness. He tried to be the bridge between radicals like AOC and the old establishment, and, well, let's just say that the bridge collapsed. Polls are showing Democrats furious that Chuck Schumer didn't fight hard enough against Trump. They wanted chaos, they wanted resistance, but Schumer blinked. He caved during the shutdown, helped President Trump get the government reopened, and then proved what the far left had suspected for years, that he's more politician than revolutionary. So now the knives are out, okay? You got Democrats whispering that Schumer's days are numbered, and every time he tries to sound tough, his approval drops even lower. Even moderates are calling him irrelevant. And so in the words of one DC insider, Schumer didn't lose to Trump. He lost to his own party. So while Schumer flounders, the far left is celebrating its biggest victory yet, Zohran Mamdani's stunning win in the New York City mayoral race. Now, this man isn't your typical Democrat. No, he's a self-proclaimed socialist that is backed by the same radicals who want to defund the police, erase borders, and reimagine capitalism. Oh, and guess what? Over 60% of his voters were foreign-born residents, mind you. So that's not a coincidence. That is clearly a strategy. Mamdani didn't just run against his opponents. He ran against the idea of America itself, and he won. So now he's standing shoulder to shoulder with AOC and Bernie Sanders, forming what many insiders are calling a new socialist alliance within the Democratic Party. They don't want to fix the party. They want to replace the party. They're pushing these policies that are so radical that even old school liberals are terrified to speak out about it. So this is exactly why moderates like Fetterman, they're jumping ship. He sees what's coming, a complete ideological takeover, one where loyalty to America is replaced by loyalty to the movement. The far left isn't rising quietly anymore. No, they're taking over. They keep telling us that inflation is under control, but go buy groceries. Pay your insurance, fill up your car. Does that feel like control to you? This is why I partner with Noble Gold Investments, because they tell the truth. They help people protect their money from inflation by moving part of their retirement into gold and silver that actually holds value. It's not complicated. It's not hype. It's just common sense. This is why thousands of Americans are already calling Noble Gold at 877-646-5347, or they're visiting RonYatesGold.com to download their free wealth protection kit, because inflation doesn't care how hard you worked, but gold does. And protecting what's yours just makes sense. Now, the far left's rise isn't just political, it's demographic. Democrat strongholds like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, they're being reshaped by millions of voters. Many of them are foreign-born, many dependent on government aid, and nearly all of them targeted by progressive organizers. They call it inclusion, but conservatives see it for what it really is. It's a power strategy. So under Schumer's watch, open border policies flooded cities already drowning in debt and chaos. So now, radicals like Mamdani, they're using that new population to cement control. Now, this isn't organic. This is clearly orchestrated. They already know that most Americans reject socialism, so they're building a new voter base that won't reject socialism. You see what I'm saying here? So now President Trump has been warning about this since day one. He said it very plainly. If you can't win with citizens, you'll try to change who the citizens are. That's not immigration policy, that is population engineering. So meanwhile, everyday Americans, veterans, families, small business owners, they're watching their neighborhoods transformed overnight. Fetterman sees it too. He does. So he knows the party of working men and women has become the party of open borders and endless welfare. And that's why he's out. And just when it looked like the Democrats might recover, President Trump dropped the hammer. So at a recent press event, President Trump was asked about Chuck Schumer's leadership collapse. His response? Classic Trump, guys. He laughed and said Schumer thought that he could break the Republicans. And, well, the Republicans broke him. Well, Trump didn't stop there. He said Schumer had lost his talent and now even mocked how far he had shifted politically, calling him a man who loved Israel, now acting like a Palestinian. It was brutal and it hit home, but that's what Trump said about Chuck Schumer. So Schumer's attempt to play both sides backfired completely. He lost the radicals because he wasn't extreme enough. He lost the moderates because he bent the knee to the radicals. And now he's losing his seat of power because Trump exposed it all. So while Schumer hiding from the cameras, Trump is riding high on the success of his new tariffs, the booming economy, the lowest border crossings in 5 years. Once again, Trump proves the same point that he made in 2016. The Democrats can't beat him. They can only beat themselves. By now, the Democrat civil war isn't a secret anymore. It's a full-blown public spectacle. You've got progressives like AOC and Ilhan Omar attacking Schumer on social media for betraying the resistance. You've got moderates quietly meeting behind closed doors, asking whether the party even represents them anymore. Then, of course, there's John Fetterman, standing in the middle of it all, refusing to play along with either side. Now, Capitol Hill insiders, they're saying that the atmosphere is toxic. Staffers are leaking messages, journalists are chasing rumors, and every Democrat caucus meeting, it pretty much feels like a boxing match without gloves. Bare knuckle out there. It's gotten so bad that even CNN admitted on air that Democrats are fractured beyond repair. And the tension's not just in D.C., it's across the country. From Pennsylvania to California, local party chairs are reassigning. Campaign donations, they're drying up, and voters are walking away. They wanted unity under Schumer's leadership, but what they got is a political free-for-all. And as one Democrat strategist told Politico, it's not about Trump anymore. It's about survival. The party of unity has become the party of chaos, and America is watching it burn. So what happens next, right? Well, if John Fetterman makes it official, if he declares independence from the Democratic Party, it's not just another political headline. This is the start of a political realignment that could reshape 2026 and beyond. Now imagine this for a second, okay? A populist-leaning blue-collar senator from Pennsylvania openly working with President Trump on American jobs, border security, and veterans care. Ooh, that's not fantasy anymore, guys. This is a conversation happening behind closed doors. Fetterman's defection would send shockwaves through the Senate. I mean, it could easily flip key votes, fracture Democrat unity, and prove that Trump's America First message isn't just winning Republicans, it's converting Democrats. Meanwhile, Schumer faces growing pressure to resign before 2028. So with AOC already testing the waters for a run at his seat, the radicals are taking over the party that he built, and moderates like Fetterman, they're walking out the door. The Democrats wanted a revolution, and now looks like they got one. Only this time, it's not against Trump, it's against themselves. The party of resistance has become the party of retreat, and it's John Fetterman, not Chuck Schumer, leading the exodus.